here we are in the Ioniq 5N, and I've got a viewer who was just basically extremely nice enough to let me drive. Ride. I will not be driving today. I'm too scared. And all I want is a little bit of a tour and a ride, and just to kind of appreciate this thing. It's got every option you could possibly imagine in a Hyundai, except this. Obviously, we're not doing a sunroof for performance reasons. We're also lacking a little bit of range, but I think the fun factor, I think we can Wile E. Coyote our way around that. 181 miles of range. We are at 74%. Let's take a ride. Now, do you like one-pedal driving?
I do.
Okay.
That's why I turned it on. I like one-pedal driving.
The I-pedal?
Yes.
Okay. And you're, you are a Fisker Ocean 1 owner,
Yes.
so we're in rare company here. And what do you think compared to the dynamics and the throttle map as far as the pedals? Is this significantly better?
Yes, significantly.
Okay. No,
I mean, this is just normal mode, but the noise you hear is not a spaceship. It's more like an engine.
I really like it. It's like you're in a quiet sports car.
Yes.
Wow. I had a Civic Si 2006. Very similar as far as what you hear. The sensory experience is really similar. And that's what they went for, right? That was the whole goal of this, was to give you that sensory input, right? When I'm watching people test drive these things, they say that having that feedback of the engine, if you will, gives them reference points. Do you feel that way too?
Yes, I do. I think, I mean, if I put it in sport, put it here, now it's an automatic with gears, shifts.
That is impossible to communicate. Like you can't, it's just insane to understand. What I really like immediately is the stance is insanely comfortable for what you are doing, right? Have you found that too? Like,
Yes.
It's, and obviously you've done an upgrade to the wheels and tires, which Ioniq 5N people, I recommend. I'll put the brand name of these wheels because they're awesome to look at. Gunmetal gray, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, show me some shifting.
There's second. I don't like it.
I think our only enemy here is going to be traffic.
Yeah, that's normal around here.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And if I can get down into one.
Now it's got a long first gear, right?
Yeah. See,
okay.
that's what you can't explain to people.
I don't need to show you my face, but the reaction and the smile on my face is not something I've gotten from an EV since the first time I stomped a Tesla. That is such a cool feeling. Now, is the other N on your side, the N button on your side, is that like a disable stuff?
No, this is, now we're in the N.
Okay.
So it changes, shows you all kinds of your suspension, steering, motors, which you can change all that temperature, the front motors, back motor.
Wow.
Battery temperature.
Okay.
Get up here, I know. What's the other? See, I can turn it just into like automatic. Still in N mode, but it's more.
Okay, and are you paddles now, or does it just do its own thing?
Nope, it just does its own thing.
Okay.
I like shifting because I feel like I have more control over.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when you hit that rev limiter the first time, it just brought back so many memories of nostalgia. I'm a manual guy, right?
Yeah.
Like every gas car I ever had, other than this RAV4 I've got, maybe one other, was a manual, like my daily drivers. And I really loved that feedback, and you feel like you're one with the road and the engine, you know? I feel like that's a big hurdle for a lot of EV people, right? They don't want to go electric because they don't get any of this stuff.
There's no noise, there's no It sounds like a mothership coming in when you're driving. And this actually produces that same noise outside very lightly.
Okay.
But it's still there.
And I think that's where the sensation comes in, because there's nothing, if I just hop in and they're like, what car are you in? You're going to say, you know, I'm in an Elantra N,
Yeah.
right? The sensory experience is just so well delivered. You have to drive one of these before you criticize it, period. I got no other information for you. If you learn anything from the review today, do not criticize the Ioniq 5N until you drive it. Now, EV6 GT, familiar with that thing?
Yes.
Same thing, just without all this cool stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want the cool stuff.
I do too. That's why I bought it.
Right.
And this is my daily driver, so
Okay.
I
So another thing that people are obviously going to ask is, have you been impacted by the range? You literally went from the most range you can get, right,
Yeah.
in the Ocean One, to 200 miles. Does it bother you? Have you had any bad experiences? Do you think 200 miles of range is enough for a modern EV?
It is for what I'm doing. I don't travel very far very often, but yeah, it does. Every time I've plugged into a charger, it's charged. I don't have any problems with it kicking out or not charging.
Quickly too, right?
It's quick, yes, from 10 to 80 or 20 to 80 in 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, because you have the big battery, but you just do your 10 to 80%. I mean, what, 230 kilowatt max?
Yeah.
This is the same battery and the same hardware as the standard Ioniq 5s, right? As far as the charging and stuff.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Well, we're all guessing here. And
Yeah.
all I'm here to do is have some fun, because this is just so much fun. Visibility is excellent.
It's just the feedback that
It's like,
you get.
I feel like all the feels are coming in. Okay, I understand now the emotional. Oh man, let's just listen to it for a second. I didn't have any plans for this video, because I know that I'm just going to get in here and I'm going to start reacting emotionally to it, right? Because there's just so much fun going on. That was every feeling you got. You hit the rev limiter, right?
Yep.
You shifted, and all of those inputs were there.
Yeah, everything is there.
The electric motor quit and then struggled because you were at the rev limiter, and then shifted exactly like you would if you took a gas car without the damage to the engine.
Yeah, I'm not damaging the transmission or anything, and it so feels like it has one.
So I feel like if you took Gran Turismo, like you familiar?
Yes.
So if you took Gran Turismo, like where everything was hyper realistic except the damage, right? You hit the wall,
Yeah.
you keep going.
Yeah.
I feel like we've taken Gran Turismo and made it a real car, because the reason why you don't beat up your sports car all the time is when you do want to beat it up, you want it to perform,
Yes.
right? Well, this does it anyway.
Yeah.
You can just beat it up all day long.
I just can't believe that it will not let you.
Oh, that never
you
gets
have
old.
to shift.
That never gets old, does it?
No, never. Now, when you're in the N mode, you don't have, your one pedal drive. You don't have any of that stuff. It's all brakes. Your traction control is off. It's electronic sport control. It's on sport, so everything gets tighter.
So your brother Joey, who hates electric cars, would be right at home, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they would know if you didn't tell them.
Oh, and the gurgle at the end. And the gurgle at the end. That acceleration experience is
And I have 40 more horses.
I know you, that's what I was going to say. That is more than I've ever felt, honestly, as far as performance, because not only are you stomping it, but it has all this power, and it's low to the ground, and it has the low profiles, and it has the stance.
Yeah.
It's all coming out here, man. I'm going to leave you to it. Let's have a sensory experience.
It's fun.
Oh my gosh. That is impossible to communicate verbally. I got goosebumps.
And you hear the exhaust that it does not have.
There's a rattle back there, like almost a, you know, like
Throaty.
it's rattling around in there because it doesn't have anywhere else to go. It's so real, because it is. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
you cannot use the word fake on this car. This is absolutely real input. Hey, speaking of electric cars that can't hold a candle to this thing, we are approaching an ID4. What are your thoughts on that? Just
That was the first electric car I ever drove.
was it?
Yes.
Okay.
For a test drive.
Okay.
I've never bought one.
Enough said.
Yeah. That was all it took. Let's see, put it back in automatic.
Wow. Okay, so it's like half volume now, right?
Yeah. You lose, and it all changes. That's sport. Here's your eco. You don't hear much of anything.
Wow.
There isn't.
These are notoriously quiet motors, like just in real life.
Yeah, and they beefed up some of the framing and stuff to keep it quieter.
Okay.
Inside is what I've read, anyways.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely, the sounds in here are just wonderfully engineered. Hans Zimmer would be proud. Wow. This is, you could do this mode for 3 hours on a road trip, right?
Yeah.
You don't-
Yep. And it's on the highway. It's ridiculous. I mean, you need to get in between, especially in the city.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yes, it's perfect.
Yeah, you just kick it down a gear, right?
Yep.
Slap the paddle, and here you go. Wow.
See that I can shift. This is just in sport. There's 8 gears. In theory.
So that's exactly what a sports car would be, an 8-speed dual clutch auto, right?
Yep.
Like if you had a really expensive Mercedes AMG something.
Yes.
Wow. I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna try to make a video and I'm gonna try to tell my wife, and I'm not gonna be successful communicating how fun this car is.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Oh.
So much fun.
Yeah, this is Gran Turismo in real life. Because there's no okay, so I'm an efficiency guy, and I don't drive fast, but what really appeals to me is there's no consequences.
Oh yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
rubber.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but
I mean, you don't put those rims on there without knowing that.
no,
Right?
I know. Yes, I already know.
When you put nice rims on your daily, a choice was made.
Yeah.
I'm willing to sacrifice a few dollars for some absolute fun and stance and curb appeal, right?
This car has blown my mind, and I've had multiple Teslas, a Fisker, which is not that impressive, but and this one, and out of all of them, with the inputs, the shifting, where I can go back to my high school days, it was a Honda Prelude of an 87 Volkswagen GTI standard, and I can do that in this.
Wow.
And a lot faster.
Well, yeah, what we were talking about before we hopped in, this is like a modern day Focus RS, not ST,
Yeah.
RS, but kind of double, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at almost double the horsepower, and I think the fun factor is almost double too.
I would have to say yes.
So overall, you got two things you absolutely love, and could you even come up with two things you dislike?
Oh, two things I dislike: the mileage, the charge,
The range, okay.
the range. But I knew that going in. You're sacrificing that for performance.
Sure.
And that's probably about the only other thing.
Hard to keep a black car clean, maybe, right?
Yeah, it is, yes.
But that comes with any black car.
Yes.
So, in your opinion, is this? You said you got this on the lot, but was this the color you were looking for, or are you satisfied with the color? Would you have picked a different one had you had a chance?
I don't know if I would have picked something different. This was the one they had. It was the one I wanted, and so I took it.
Now, we also your two favorite things about it. If you had to distill it down to just two things, you've owned Teslas, you've owned Fisker, you have experience with EVs. Are there two things that you could really distill it down to, like, or maybe three? Like, what's your Mount Rushmore of excellence here?
Well, the whole acoustics and the inputs is just totally different. There's nothing. It's an electric vehicle that I'm shifting gears in that doesn't have a transmission. So that's the main factor for me. You could take it to the track and drive it like a race car if you wanted to.
Right. Do you even need to, though, to get?
No, and that's what I like the looks of the car. I like the way it looks. I like the way it handles. I love the way it drives. There's not much. I got 3,154 miles on it so far, and I haven't found anything that I dislike. The app works. The preconditioning works. Everything seems to work as it's supposed to.
Wow. This is, I really want to distill this down just for my 10 minutes you gave me here. This is the coolest car on earth right now, as far as attainable performance. And the reason why I say that is because the experience Hyundai's provided you here, this is unavailable in any other form, is it not? Right? You can't.
Yeah, not both things together. Electric and being able to drive.
Right now, not only can I hear, but I can feel very, very faintly an idle. And it even tells me, it just said in the other mode, 800 RPM. You know, if you go back, it says, 0.8.
Because you can hit the...
No penalty. That's just
anything.
Speakers.
Yep.
You know, you do that in your Camaro, you blow the engine, right? Man, Matt, this is a pleasure, and I don't know what else to say except that take this guy's word. You can't get this anywhere else. Matt, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh man, this was cool. And to conclude my experience with the Ioniq 5N, hardly a review. If you want to see reviews for the Ioniq 5N, there are plenty online. But to conclude my experience, you don't need to drive it to know how cool it is. And there are different types of EVs. For example, Tesla. To put Tesla's benefits in order of importance or focus from Tesla, I'd have to say it's efficiency, power, seamless experience, technology, and then fun would be fifth. I couldn't give you the whole list of the Ioniq 5N, but what I can give you is the EV6 GT and the Ioniq 5N's priorities. And they're not the same. I believe the EV6 GT top priority when they made it was speed. It's fast. It's really fast. And fun would definitely be second. But with the Ioniq 5N, it is my opinion that they have taken fun and put it as the top priority. They already made a wonderful car with a great platform, plenty of accolades. We all know the story of the Ioniq 5, but they put fun first, and then second was speed. And I don't know if an EV's ever been made before where fun was the first priority. Now, obviously, that's kind of downplaying the excellence of the Ioniq 5 a little bit, but if I had to rank the top 5 things about the Ioniq 5N. Number one is fun. Even as a passenger, I had the time of my life this afternoon. And I just can't say that about these other EVs. I can say that they're nice and they're cool and they're efficient and I like them. I like the idea of them. In fact, I might even like the idea of them more than I like them. The efficiency, no nonsense refueling at home, the adventure of DC fast charging. Even though it's annoying sometimes, it's kind of an adventure, which is neat. But I could never tell you that my EV is more fun than anything I've ever been in. Mustangs are fun. Camaros are fun. The 300ZX, the RX-7. I had a Civic Si. It was really fun. More fun, in fact, than my Model Y ever was just stomping the accelerator. But the Ioniq 5N is more fun than that Civic Si. And it might be the most fun you can have on four wheels, especially with no consequences. Don't underestimate Hyundai. And if you want the most fun EV, don't walk, run to your local Hyundai dealership and pick up an N, of course, if it's within your price range. Probably the only drawback there is that the most fun EV is prohibitively expensive. That's my conclusion. Make sure you check out my channel for more on any EV. And if you have one you'd like me to drive, please let me know. I'm willing to travel and we can have a great time looking at the advantages, disadvantages, and the experience of your EV. Adam's EV Reviews at yahoo.com. Join Patreon or become a YouTube member for early access to videos. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hey! Smash the like button!
Thank you.